Jules, we're not done because we have more quick hits.
Yes.
Kylian Mbappe bags his first 2 Liga goals as Carleton Ancelotti mixes things up, and Real Madrid down Betis 2-0. Jules, they're not there yet, but they did look better.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Denis Ceballos being there, to be fair.
But you need a guy who can pass. He's not just going to run with the ball.
Modric and play him for an hour, and that's better. But anyway, Kylian, who missed a sitter just after the break, although it would have been offside anyway, so not sure he count. Finally scoring, great assist from Fede Valverde with a back heel. I'm so happy. And then Vinicius gets a penalty and gives the ball to Kylian to take it. 2 goals at the Bernabeu, singing his name, what he's dreamed of all his life. It's finally there. I think that will take off a lot of weight off his shoulders, which is great. And now he can come with France and be a very, very happy man.
Good. And maybe Brahim Diaz's minutes will continue to go up, because I thought again he was good.
Yeah, he did well when he came on. Yeah. Gab, after 462 days, Bayer Leverkusen have finally lost a Bundesliga game. Is this a big deal?
So it's not a big deal that the streak is over, because look, streaks end. That is the
You're
very
right.
nature.
It's never going to last forever.
I'd be a bit concerned about how this happened, because they're 2-0 up, they're cruising. It's 7 minutes injury time and whatever. They give up a stupid goal to Kevin Campbell, where it looks as if they're already in the dressing room. And then again, you expect the fight. You expect to control the fight back in the second half. It didn't come. Look, I know Leipzig are good.
Yeah.
Luis Openda, fantastic. The goal to make it 3-2 was an absolute worldie. Leverkusen had chances at the end. Fine to get this out of the way, but also, Xabi Alonso, if I'm there, this is a good chance to go and smack some backsides and say, guys, we need to stay concentrated. We need to stay intense. We can't always count on these late comebacks. Paris Saint-Germain beat up Lille 3-1, and they're already flying. Jules Speedy Barcola is on his way to making people say, Kylian who?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about that, but 4 goals in his first 3 games of the season, 1 more than in the whole of last season already in the league, I think. So, outstanding.
Dude, the guy's unplayable.
They were so good. That front 3 of Dembele, Asensio, and Barcola, or the DAB, if you want to quote Paul Pogba. Outstanding. Asensio as a false 9. And Lille were good. Lille hit the post at 0-0 early on in the game after the save by Donnarumma. They were good. They could have come back in the end. It was a bit cagey at the end for PSG, a bit tense. But overall, there's a lot of good things that they do already. And it's 3 wins in 3 games, and they're top of the table. They goal difference is plus 11. They've done really, really well so far.
The third goal came very late, and it was 2-1. It was definitely...
Tense. Yeah, definitely. Chelsea are held to a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge by Crystal Palace, and Enzo Maresca says that this isn't the Chelsea team that won the Champions League 3 years ago, and it has to be clear that this is not the same team, and so sometimes it's normal not to win. What?
Okay, so look, what he's saying is correct. This is not the same team.
Yeah, thank you,
They're
Enzo.
all gone.
We all knew this.
Yeah, they're all gone except for Ben Chilwell, who's on the naughty step somewhere, and Reece James, who is injured for a change.
Again.
So if he's saying, we need to manage expectations, he's saying things have changed. Yeah. And I think a lot of fans Chelsea fans will look at this and say, yeah, look, worse players, worse owner, worse coach, everything's worse. Everything got worse.
Yeah.
Hey, that's the reality of football, right? That's the reality of where you are. They've gone down this project. They've made mistakes. They've made big mistakes. They've tried to remedy them. We'll see if the remedy works. I just don't know if you need to come out and say this, because whenever you say it's normal not to win and you are a big club, that's problematic.
Yeah.
It's true. We all know it's true, but it's problematic. And it's not what people want to hear. So he didn't do himself any favors there. As for the game itself, I was there. Great goal by Eberechi Eze.
Yeah,
the way that guy strikes the ball,
so nice.
He's got a computer in place of a brain.
Yeah,
that guy. Sticking with Chelsea, they picked up Jadon Sancho on loan from Manchester United. There's an obligation to buy for $23 million, as long as Chelsea don't finish in the bottom 6. Do you like this move? Are you going to call it another opportunistic move like the Sterling move?
But that one, I don't get it, Gabby. Because we said about Liverpool's forward options that they have. I mean, and we said this is not rivaled in the league. But Chelsea have, I think, 10 for 3 positions. If you count all the players that can play wide as well, it's mad. Do you really need Sancho? We saw him in the stands yesterday with one of our good friends next to him.
Bedard?
Yeah. I'm not sure if you really needed him, to be fair.
Okay, well, so I'm going to go all Jules on you then. you talk about all the options, right? Yeah, and it's fun to count the Chelsea strikers, but then you have to count David Washington, who we'll get to later, and stuff like that, right? The reality is Nico Jackson is your only real striker. Sorry, Mark. Cole Palmer is an option in number 10. Nkunku is an option in number 10.
Yeah.
Not really wide. On the left, you could make the point about that's stupid where you're accumulating Neto and Mudryk and João Felix. But then again, João Felix you had to do to get Conor Gallagher, and Mudryk is Mudryk, let's face it. I think on the right, other than Madueke, if you get Sancho to play on the right, I think maybe that's the thinking. And 23 million, if you can somehow regain his mojo. But yeah, look, when you go through the list of players Chelsea definitely don't need who are still there, I don't think Sancho is on top of that list. Put it that way.
Lazio and Milan drew 2-2 on Saturday. But Gab, it's all about Paulo Fonseca and the two guys he initially dropped to the bench, Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao.
Okay, so just some context here, right? So Milan start the season badly, 1 point from 2 games.
Yeah.
Theo Hernandez and Rafael Leao, many people think are Milan's 2 best players. I would put Maignan in there, but hey, whatever. They're obviously 2 very important players.
Yeah.
They're leaders. They don't play well. And they're both inconsistent. One guy, Theo, has serious issues. His compass doesn't work when he's defending. He goes all over the place. Rafael Leao takes naps during games. That's the criticism of them.
And fair criticism.
And it's fair criticism. I think even they would admit it, right? Paulo Fonseca decides to drop them away to Lazio, which is a big game, which shows you that Paulo Fonseca has personality. He's got stones. It's only his 3rd ever game. He's not a Milan legend. He's never won a game for Milan, right?
Yeah.
And what happens is they go a goal up. Everything's good. Milan play really well. They create a bunch of chances. Then the usual defensive brain farts, and they can see 2 goals inside of 4 minutes. So now they're 2-1 down. Then he sends the 2 of them on. What do? Within a minute, they combine Theo, Rafael Leao, and Tammy Abraham in there. Nice touch as well. And then it's 2-2. So he looks like a genius again. Here comes the cooling break. I'm expecting hugs and kisses. Everybody comes over to the cooling break, except for these 2 who stand at the opposite side of the pitch.
Yeah.
Theo would later say, "Oh, we just come on. We didn't need the water break. Blah blah blah. Oh, we play on the left anyway, and the bench is on the other side." Okay, unless these 2 guys, Jules, you know Theo Hernandez better than I do, right?
Yeah.
Unless these 2 guys are complete idiots,
Well,
they know exactly what they're doing. This is a terrible look. Almost designed to embarrass your manager.
Yeah, completely. And that's so early in the season as well. And yeah, you're probably not happy to have been dropped. But this was terrible. And I saw it straight away like you could see it on television that they were just not coming back and not joining with the rest of the squad. And for me, this has to be sanctioned. It's either
and
fine.
It won't be. And the message from the club is that it won't be sanctioned. And it's interesting because Paolo Di Canio went on Italian television and he said, you didn't just disrespect the coach, whatever, he's got his way of doing things. You disrespected your teammates.
Yeah, I agree completely.
What he said is Milan's leaders, whoever they are, and frankly, right now I look at this team and I would say it's probably Tomori and Magic Mike Maignan.
Yeah.
They need to go and they need to pin these guys to the wall, is what Paolo said. And it's got to be something like that. You cannot have this behavior.
I agree.
Guess who got another hat trick, Jules? It's that Erling Haaland fellow. City went away to West Ham 3-1, 30 goals in 19 games in August throughout his career. Welcome, Mr. August.
Back-to-back hat trick. I don't even know where to start. It's his 8th hat trick in 69 games in the Premier League. Sergio Aguero has the record with 12 in 269. So he's 4 away. And it took Aguero 200 more games to get 4 more hat tricks.
He could have had 5 in this game.
Easily.
He had that bad header, and then he had the other one-on-one, which he messed up.
And the second one is probably the best one, that first touch with his right foot, the finish with his left. I mean, West Ham defensively were shambolic in a lot of the things that they did. But yeah, incredible. Well done to Haaland, who looks, like Pep said, sharper, better. He stays after training now, which he didn't do last season because he was always have a bit of an injury or niggles. It's just amazing to see him like that. Vincent Kompany's Bayern win on their home debut, defeating Freiburg 2-0. Gab, how did they look? And I bet you want to talk about Thomas Müller.
So they didn't look great. The penalty, I thought they were a little bit fortunate. Gave up a silly penalty at the end too, which then the Freiburg guy put over the bar. But it's all about Thomas Müller. He comes on, scores. He sets the appearance record for Bayern. By the way, the guys who are 2nd and 3rd on the list, Kahn and Meyer, they're both goalkeepers. It's incredible.
710.
And how about the techers on the goal? The control with the right. And let's face it, technical ability is not something we associate with Thomas Müller. Hats off to you, Thomas. Tottenham Hotspur contrived to lose at Newcastle 2-1. Jules, it hurts when you concede goals on the counter like this.
But we said this so many times last season. We love Ange, and I'm all for attacking football, that kind of philosophy, everything great. But your team has to be balanced, Gab. You can't just all attack and not thinking about any defensive shape or attributes, just anything like that. This was far too easy for Newcastle to score that second goal. It's just not good enough.
If you're going to do that, press from the front.
2 injury time goals from Lukaku on his debut, and Zombo and Gisa give Napoli a 2-1 win, comeback win over 10-man Parma. Gab, this was a wild finish.
Absolutely wild. Parma's goalkeeper, Zion Suzuki, who's close to my heart, given he's half Nigerian, half Japanese.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I mean, what could be better? He gets himself sent off. They've made all 5 substitutions, even though it was 20 minutes ago. Del Prato comes in, clearly not a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
And they gave up 2 scrambly goals. Better from Napoli, but shouldn't be leave it to the end to get the 3 points.